Coping with COVID is brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Visit scdheck.gov for an updated list of testing sites and important information on how to protect yourself, your family, and friends from the coronavirus. SCDHEC, healthy people, healthy communities. Also, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, helping to meet the needs of small, minority, and women-owned businesses in the City of Columbia. Log on to columbiasc.net/OBO. Agape Counseling and Training Center. Call 803-779-2777 for licensed professionals of counselors and social workers helping families, engaged and married couples, and individuals of all ages gain an understanding of all aspects of their life. If you're having a challenge coping with COVID, contact Agape Counseling and Training Center at agapects.com. And Columbia Housing Authority. The agency is looking for stories from former residents of Allen Benedict Court to retain some of the property's rich history. In its 80-year life, Allen Benedict Court has been home to some of the country's elite, including a Grammy Award-winning performer, corporate executives, national television celebrities, a host of doctors, lawyers, and NBA greats. So share your pictures, mementos, and memories at chcares@chasc.org. Coping with COVID, brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Columbia Housing Authority, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Palmetto Media Connection.
Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.
Fight the spread and take a stand against coronavirus. Wear a mask in public. Stay at least 6 feet apart from others. And get tested. Join us and fight the spread. Visit scdheck.gov/COVID-19.
Hey there, you are watching Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. I'm Tre Tailor, and it's brought to you by SCDHEC, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Palmetto Media Connections, and Agape Counseling and Training Center. Listen, if you're having some challenges coping with COVID, please contact the folks at Agape Counseling and Training Center. Well, it's Fun Day Monday, and usually George Wallace joins us on the first Monday of the month because he wants to be introduced to some new and up-and-coming comedians. George had a last-minute doctor's appointment today, but we do have the comedian that we were going to feature. Kennedy, the comedian, is here. He doesn't look like he's quite ready yet, but
I'm here.
Kennedy, we'll talk to him about his career, politics, and the fraternity that he founded that you may have never heard about. That's you even laugh about it, Kennedy. I laugh about it too. Well, that's coming up next on Coping with COVID. But first, your COVID community updates. Today is the final day of early voting in South Carolina. Tomorrow, of course, is Election Day, and voters must cast their ballots at their regular polling place. That's right. Tomorrow, you must cast your ballot at your regular polling place. If you have an absentee ballot, do not mail it at this point. Instead, drop it off today and tomorrow at your polling place or at 2020 Hampton Street. Now, several places are providing free rides. Don't forget that you can get a free ride at Comet, Uber and Lyft, the NAACP, Levy's Funeral Home, and so much more. Again, free rides to the poll tomorrow on Election Day. Check the screen for more information. 21 new COVID cases were confirmed on the campus of South Carolina State University. All student athletes. This after practices were canceled and students quarantined last week when a staff member tested positive. Now, the school allowed 200 student athletes to return to campus in September and plan to bring back more when the spring semester begins in January. And no more warnings. The City of Columbia Fire Department says they're giving out fines for people violating the mask ordinance. Over 30 fines were imposed over the weekend, mostly in 5 Points, where bar owners reminded people in line to put on their masks. Well, SCDHEC has your most up-to-date list of times, dates, and locations for COVID testing in and around South Carolina. And if you check the screen throughout the show, you'll get information on COVID testings in South Carolina. Also scrolling on the screen will be information about the DHEC Care Line. Now, that's if you want to find out more about the virus, if you want to find out more about getting transportation to a COVID test, and also if you want to host a COVID test at your event or in your neighborhood. Now, if you are unable to get to a COVID test, but you think you need it, Richland and Clarendon County paramedics are actually providing in-home COVID testing for folks who need it. Again, that information is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You can call 911 between 9 and 5 for more information. It's time to get your flu shot, so don't forget that. Again, Prisma Health and DHEC, and also the VA has several locations for you to get free flu shots. So please make sure you get the information you need. Also, scrolling at the bottom of the screen right now are some free mask giveaways. That's right, at the library and several other locations, they're giving away free masks. So please make sure you check that out and get that information also. Now, the South Carolina Bar Association is also offering a website and a toll-free number for people who need help with their mortgage or mortgage assistance. Again, you can see that information scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Also, the City of Columbia has a 6-month payment plan available for folks who need some help with their water bills. They also have assistance up to 75%. Again, make sure you contact the City of Columbia Water Department for more information. Now, as I said in the opening during the news, today is the final day to early vote, and you can still make sure if you had a mail-in ballot, please make sure you get it back to your polling place. Now, several of those places, you can just walk up. You don't have to stand in line. Some of them have drop-off boxes, and some places, like I said, you can just kind of go to the front of the line and drop it off. Don't forget, just make sure you do drop it off. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we talked to Rashonda Pratt. She has a whole YouTube channel dedicated to e-learning and e-working. So please go to Rashonda Pratt's YouTube channel, hit subscribe, and make sure you get all of the great information that she has available. Also, there are several locations in South Carolina that are hiring, including Amazon is hiring 1,300 seasonal employees, $15 per hour. Apply at AmazonDelivers.jobs. And also CarMax is also hiring technicians, detailers, painters, and more. Careers.carmax.com for more information. As I said earlier, free rides are being given out to the polls tomorrow. Check the screen for all of those locations giving out free rides to the polls. Now, Coping with COVID is streaming live on the TaylorMade Productions Facebook page. Would you go over there, please, and hit like and follow? And you can not only watch Coping with COVID Monday through Saturday at 2 p.m., you can get all of your COVID-related updates. We're also streaming live on YouTube. Go over to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. Hello to all of the YouTubers. And we're on IG also. Please like and follow Tre Tailor at Instagram. You're watching Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. I'm Tre Tailor, and it is Fun Day Monday. And typically, George Wallace joins us on Fun Day Monday because he wants to be introduced to new and up-and-coming comedians. Well, we've got the comedian, but we don't have George. George had a last-minute doctor's appointment, as old people do sometimes, Kennedy.
Yeah, man, I was really excited to see George.
I know. I was
TV.
excited for you to see him. So we've got to get you back on a Monday.
Yeah.
So that you could see George, and he was really looking forward to it too. He's the one that came up with the idea. He wanted, and because we were talking, and I said, I know a lot of great comedians. You know, would you be willing to kind of listen to them and talk to them? And so we've done a couple of them. So I was looking forward to it because you're one of my favorite comedians. You really are.
Oh, really?
Yes,
thank you.
yes. So tell us a little bit about your road to comedy. How did you started getting into comedy?
Ah, man. So, well, I guess it kind of really started back in college. I was hosting an event during Sexual Awareness Month. I think that's like April or
Sexual Awareness Month?
Yeah. So,
what college did you go to that had sexual awareness? Are you talking about like sexually transmitted diseases or sexuality? What is Sexual Awareness Month exactly? Let's start there.
So Sexual Awareness Month is basically where we not kind of, I don't want to say remember, but you kind of remember the like it's about sexual abuse. Sexual misconduct.
Okay, Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Is it the same? I don't know if it's the same. I think it's sexual. Well, anyway, the event that we were having,
Right. They were having an event at school.
On campus. It was called Take Back the Night. And
Okay.
you take back those nights where you were sexually assaulted, sexually
Right.
abused, things of that nature. And we had she's a friend of mine now, but she's an actress, and she goes around the country. She does this one woman play about her story where she was sexually abused in college, and
Oh, wow.
just her story from tragedy to triumph, basically.
Right.
So I went to school in Virginia. Shout out to Shenandoah University. That's
Shenandoah University and the Shenandoah Valley.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's beautiful up there.
Yes, beautiful country. So
were you the only Black person?
For about a month I thought I was, and then I went into the cafeteria, and the other 6 of them were sitting at the same table. So so I said, "Hey, you guys mind if I sit down with you?" And they was like, "Yes, come on, brother." And so
you found your people.
I found my people
in the cafeteria.
In the cafeteria, because I couldn't find them, so I would just go back to my dorm and just watch TV because I didn't know where they were.
Well, let me go backwards. Why did you go to Shenandoah Valley University?
Not Shenandoah Valley University.
Oh, what is it? Shenandoah College. What is the name of the school?
So
Shenandoah High School.
University.
What is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
It was a really big high school. Shenandoah University.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, going back, I went there honestly because they said, "Hey, man, we got a basketball up here, and if you want to play."
Oh, so you went on a basketball scholarship?
Yeah, I went and played basketball.
Wow.
For 4 years. Yeah, I started at Charleston Southern, then I transferred and finished at. So you have to tell people that you graduated from, because most people ask, "So where did you go?"
Right.
I can say I went to Harvard, but that don't mean I graduated. You gotta
well,
ask
and
people
that's
where
okay
they
though.
graduated from.
Even though, but listen, if you went, you went. You got to get credit for going.
Okay, well, I went to Harvard. I took an online class for free. So if we just.
But did you go? You took a class. If you didn't, you could go, or you could take a class. I think that's different. You could go to visit and and say I went to Harvard.
I went by. So yeah.
Stop by.
Yeah, I stopped by.
Hey to everybody. Hey everybody at Harvard.
Right. But that's how I got there. But comedy. Okay, so we're doing this event. She does her thing and I'm hosting. Afterwards, the committee that brought her into town, we decided to take her out, because we're hospitable, and so we go. It's Virginia, and it's in the mountains.
Right.
And Virginia in April is totally different from South Carolina in April
because it's cold.
So it's really cold, and for whatever reason, I had on a t-shirt and some basketball shorts that night. I don't even know why I hosted the event. I don't even know why I hosted the event in a t-shirt and basketball shorts, but whatever. So we're at this. We take her out. We're going out to eat, and I'm starting to get a little sick. I'm coming down with something. Cause you're cold.
Cause you're not dressed correctly.
Exactly. And so she gives me her little jacket or whatever. Like, it's so small on me, but I got it on. And I'm drinking some tea because I'm trying to warm myself up.
Yeah.
And I'm just being silly. I'm getting sick and I'm being silly and I'm sleepy. So. And in the middle of all of that, she goes, "Man, you are really funny. Have you ever thought about doing stand-up?"
Really? And before then, you never thought about it?
Like, once it crossed my mind, but only because I love Eddie Murphy, and I watched a lot of late night TV, the monologues. I always loved that. And I wrote a joke, and it was terrible. And I said, "I'm not a comedian." When I was 17. And so, but when she said it, she said, "You should just start writing down jokes." So from 2010 till about 2013, I just wrote jokes, and I just wrote. And because I wasn't sure if I was on stage funny. Like, it's one thing to be funny at the table with your friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what else I think? And I this is a great conversation that George could have been participating in, but not only, I think it's one thing to be funny with your friends. It's another thing, I think, to be a funny writer. You can write some good jokes, but you may not be able to deliver them.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's
a good point.
Because I think you have to have some kind of stage presence. One,
you do
to really be able to deliver a joke.
Yeah, you
Which may
definitely
be
do.
the reason why a lot of writers, comedy writers, are not performers. They're writers.
Yeah, I think the same thing for songwriters. Like they don't have
Yes,
the whatever it
you're
takes
not
to.
the voice.
Yeah, yeah, that's they don't have that.
They don't have the voice. They can't sing, but they can write
But they can write, yeah, and that's
or
important.
play. Yeah.
Yeah, and we need a lot. I see so many comedians get on stage, and I go, whew, maybe. Well, maybe one, maybe this isn't for you, or two, maybe you should become a writer. Like I know a really good friend of mine. He's excellent at telling jokes, but he thinks, or I think he knows that his strong suit is writing for others, and so that's what he chooses to do mostly, and I
Right.
respect that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We're talking to the comedian today on Fun Day Monday without George Wallace today. George is at a doctor's appointment. He's actually going to join us tomorrow for our election day coverage. And
Mm.
Kennedy, comedian, is here. And but we're going to get Kennedy back so that George can meet him, because this first Monday of each month is for George to be introduced to new and up and coming comedians or comedians that he doesn't know. So Kennedy was telling us about how he became a comedian. And so you MC this event at your college. It's cold. You guys go someplace to dinner. Some young lady gives you a jacket. It's too cold. It's too short. You're being funny or silly. She says, "You ever thought about being a comedian?" And you said, "One time." One time.
Well, no, no, I didn't. No, I told you that. I didn't tell her that.
Oh,
I said,
okay.
oh
Okay.
no. Oh no, I never thought about being a stand-up comedian.
Oh,
And she was
wow.
like, you should go for it. And I took her advice, and then so after I took her advice, it took me 3 years before I actually got on stage. Like I was telling a few
Really?
friends, yeah. And I'll tell you who got me on stage. I was telling some friends that I was a comedian. Oh, what I was thinking about doing stand-up. I was telling no, no,
Okay. You said,
I was telling them
"Hello, I'm a."
no. I was telling them that I was thinking about doing stand up.
Right.
And so I was doing my writing. I was doing a lot of research, researching guys like Jerry Seinfeld. I already loved Eddie
Oh,
Murphy,
wow.
Cedric the
Yeah.
Entertainer. And I was just trying to figure out how to write a joke. And then one day I met a local church here, Right Direction church. I went there for a talent show or
You,
something.
you met Ak.
No, I didn't meet
Oh.
Akatunde, but I did study Akatunde because I was back then. I was like, oh, "Am I? What kind of comedian am I? I'm a
Yeah,
Christian
what kind of
comedian? Am I clean? Like, I didn't know." So I was studying everybody, but I did study Akintunde. But at this talent show, Mike Goodwin was a judge,
who
and
is great.
yes, he is amazing. And so I had been following him on Twitter because I was just following every comedian that I could think of,
Yeah.
Bowtie Comedy, and so I tweeted that, oh man, it's awesome to see Mike Goodwin at this event.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he looked over at the judge beside him with his phone and said, "Yo, who's this person that just tweeted me?" And then so
He said him right there.
yeah. So what happened was after they finished, he the person that he was sitting, Chandler Bailey, that's what it was.
Mhm.
Chandler was like, "Hey, this is my friend Kennedy, and he's a super funny comedian." And I was like, "Whoa, I'm not a comedian."
I'm not super funny.
I was like,
Because
no.
that builds you up. You're like,
Right.
now I got to be a super funny comedian to this comedian.
Right. And I'm like, no. And Mike, man, what was so awesome about Mike? Mike said, "Man, if you're a comedian, you got to start saying you're a comedian." That's what he said to me right there. And I was like, okay, I'm a comedian. So from that,
and that's how you became one.
yeah,
Because
oh,
Mike
okay.
Goodwin anointed you.
That's right. Oh, whoa, praise God. I ain't never been anointed in my life.
You are a comedian.
Oh man, I'm glad he said it instead of laying his hands on me, because that would have been weird. Yeah, I don't think I would have received the blessing.
Kennedy comedian joins us. He's telling us this awesome story about how he became a comedian. Now, do you have a relationship with Mike now?
Oh yeah, man. He's like he doesn't like it, but he's like a mentor to me.
Right.
But he's mentor, peer. Yeah, he's great. We have a great time together. Him. I did meet Akintunde
Ox
eventually.
good.
Yeah. I've done a couple shows with him actually too. So yeah.
Tell me some of the best advice that you've gotten about being a comedian and from who? And maybe start with Mike.
Well, Mike definitely because he told me he said, "Hey, if you're a comedian, just well, first you got to
Yeah.
say you're a comedian,"
Walk in it. Yeah.
and that was big because that opened that just I guess gave me the confidence to go do it because I hadn't even performed on stage, so my friends were just saying it because I said it
Yeah.
because yeah
And they're your
they ha-
friends.
they're my friends and I guess they think that I'm funny. So Mike gave me some great advice. Who else gave me some great advice? So okay, the first time I got on stage was at the Comedy House in Columbia, and I did 5 minutes for the little open mic or whatever,
Right.
and I didn't tell anybody, family, friends, because I
Right.
wanted to know was I really funny. I want
Yeah. Yeah.
and being at the Comedy House is not like the Apollo bad, like they're at the Apollo in New York. Like they will boo you, throw stuff at you,
That's right.
talk about your mama and all that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but in the South, people are a little more what's the word I want to say?
Hospitable, friendly,
Yeah, they're a little more
mannerable.
hospitable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they may not think you're funny. So what they'll do instead of booing you, which I think is worse, they'll just stare at you
Yeah. Like,
in silence and give you one of those. So I'm like, so I said I gotta put myself through the ringer. So I go
right.
down there and I do all right. Like they're laughing at these jokes that I had, that I had written. I never really worked on them or anything like that in front of a crowd, and they're laughing. So I get off stage, and this is the advice I got. Well, it was advice indirectly. So I get off stage, I'm excited because they're clapping and cheering. I go into the bathroom. This older guy comes in. I'm 50s, 60s, I'm not sure. And
Older. Okay.
he says, "Hey man," he says,
Kennedy, let me stop you for a second. How old are you?
"I'm I'm 33."
I just had a conversation about this with somebody who's 70, so he is older, but he was saying, and we were talking about something totally not related to comedy, but he was saying, what did we see? Something about gargling because my throat was sore. So he said, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
old people used to say, gargle with salt water. And I said, yeah, or we thought they were old when they said it,
Yeah, yeah.
because if you're 15 or 16 and somebody's 30, that's old to
Whew.
you.
Yes.
That's
Listen.
old to you. And
Yes.
as a 30-year-old person, you said an old man of 50. That's
I
old
said
to you.
older.
You
Older. I
older.
didn't call I
He
didn't
is.
call him old.
Oh, I
He's
thought you said
older.
we have to play the tape back and see because I thought you said old.
No.
Anyway,
He's
I
older.
digress. Old
Yes.
is so relative to where you
It,
are, but go
I
ahead.
mean, but you're right. I work in an elementary school, and when I first started, I was in my 20s, and the kids were like, "You 27? Great day!" I'm like, hold up, back up."
Right. Because it
But
sounds like, what are you saying?
right, right. I remember. Side note, I remember. So I started to get a little gray on in the beard area. That's why there's no beard here. And one of the kids was like, "Hey, Mr. Robertson, you got something in your chin." I was like. It was like, "Ooh, that's your old man hair." I was like,
Oh my
"Whoa."
God.
but
That is so
but
funny.
it,
What is the hold on? Let me say hi to Danielle Lake
oh
who
yeah.
says, yeah, well, older, 50, 60. Yeah, that's what I said, Danielle. I want to say hi to everybody who is watching COVID with COVID. We're talking to Kennedy, the comedian, about his journey to being a comedian. Please post and share this information out because it's Fun Day Monday and we're having a lot of fun. And it's a lot going on right now, Election Day Eve. And just waiting to see what's going to happen. But like I said, Fun Day Monday is usually on the first Monday of the month. George Wallace joins us to be introduced to new and up and coming comedians. Well, George had a doctor's appointment today. Kennedy's still here. We're going to hook Kennedy back up with George. George is going to be on tomorrow, but we're still having a great conversation with Kennedy. So you go to the bathroom after you have this amazing first set at the Comedy House, and an older man, about 50 or 60.
Right, yeah.
An old man.
Well, anyway, so I'm washing my hands because that was important. I've been doing that before COVID. Washing my
Wash your
hands.
hands.
Right. And he goes
Big
like, "Hey
ups to
man,
good hygiene.
that's right, that's right." He goes, "Hey." He called me a young man, so I feel like
That's totally different than being called an old man. Totally different, sir. Totally different.
okay. I digress.
Go
He says, "Hey, you did a real good job up there." But then he goes on to say, "Man, I remember I tried to do comedy one time, and then I never went back." And I said, "Ooh."
Wow.
So I said, I need to stick with this thing because
Yeah.
because he sounded like he was happy for me, but like he had a little bit
He had regrets. Yeah.
yeah.
Because he
So
was like,
yeah,
and I never went back.
and I never went back. With the raspiness in his voice, I never went back.
And I
As he
never
stared
went
off into the distance.
back. So Kennedy, what how do you structure your jokes? Are you a storyteller? Are you one-liner? Do you go from your experience? What kind of comedian are you? And
So
writer?
I definitely believe I'm a storyteller, just in life. Like I talk in parables. Like don't ask me for
The
a straight
gospel according to
answer.
Kennedy.
That's right. Don't ask me for a straight answer. I'm about to bring all kind of allegories and metaphors and similes. We're gonna so we got to learn something here. We got to learn something from the story. But I think I'm a storyteller. I write as a storyteller. Not real good at one-liners.
Right.
Yeah, but mostly storytelling. I pull from my own personal experience. However, I pay attention to life.
Right.
And so I pull from everywhere. Like we may be having a moment and something happens. The moment itself wasn't funny,
Right.
but there
Right.
was something there, a little something there. So I take that out and I exaggerate it and connect it to either something that I went through or something that I know somebody that I know went through, and we make a story out of it.
Yeah.
So and I try to tell my jokes, and I guess like most comedians, like when they tell jokes, you don't know, like, did this really happen or did it not? And so I try to
Right.
tell the
Right.
story in a way that you believe that it really happened, so you don't know, because in that way I get to tell stories. But if you think it's a joke, I can still kind of have like my therapy moment and tell you something that really did happen to me, but you thought it was a joke, so we don't have to talk about it anymore.
So when you do write a joke, how do you try it out, or where do you try it out?
So it's kind of tough for me, being here in the Columbia area, South Carolina area. There's not a lot of places to try jokes.
Right.
There are a couple of open mic spots in the city of Columbia. You got was it Brooklyn Tavern, New Brooklyn Tavern, and
Yeah.
you have the Art
Comedy
Bar.
House. Oh, okay. Art Bar.
Well,
Yeah.
the Comedy House isn't really set up for up and coming comedian or to come try jokes.
Right.
That's not the place you go try jokes. You gotta you gotta be on the show.
You got to have your joke ready.
Yeah,
Right.
the joke gotta be ready. Or yeah. So, but yeah, New Brooklyn Tavern and Art Bar. Those are a couple of places where most comedians in the city go out to try jokes. Other than that, I'm in Charlotte a lot. Charlotte has, gosh, they have a lot. They have a real like budding comedy scene, so you can go to open mics or to shows and try stuff out. And other than that, I really depend. Me personally, I depend heavily on my writing and
Right.
my ear for comedy, and so I write and rewrite and recite in my mind, and because I think I got a good ear on what's funny, not just because it's me telling the joke, but I try to think like, what do other people think, may be funny? Like, what do
Yeah.
they think? So
Yeah.
yeah, so writing for me.
Well, we're going to take a break in a little bit. Before we go, I want to ask you two more questions. What do you find much material? You say you're a teacher. Do you find a lot of material with the kids? What grade do you teach?
I teach, so you guys can't tell. I'm in
No, that was going to be my next question. Are you in a closet? That was going to be my next question. Where are
Yes,
you?
ladies and gentlemen, I am in the closet. Not the closet,
But you are in a closet.
I'm in a closet, not the closet. I know how you people think. But yeah, this is my basically equipment room. I'm doing some remodeling so people can not be able to tell that I'm in an equipment room. But I teach PE. I'm a
Okay,
elementary
you're a gym
school
teacher.
physical education instructor.
Okay, you're gym.
Yeah.
You're a gym teacher.
I'm the gym teacher.
You're a gym teacher.
No, Trey, I'm a physical education instructor. Okay.
Okay.
I'm the professor of physical education
The
and
professor of ball
kinesiology.
players.
Right.
The professor of dodgeball.
Right. Man, yeah. But yeah, that's what I do. I teach at an elementary school here in where I grew up actually, in Ridgeway, South Carolina, big city of Ridgeway, South Carolina.
Really?
Yes. So
Wow.
coming full circle here, and I teach everybody. I got 3-year-olds to 6th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff can you get from the kids? Well, I know I take care of a 2 and a 4-year-old, so they are so funny. Oh, somebody coming in the closet.
Yes.
I'm in the closet.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I had to hop on the Zoom right quick, but yeah, I'm gonna get it. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, get out the closet. What you doing in there?
Oh yeah, no, we got I gotta straighten up. We got voting.
Right. Oh, the school is
so this it's a precinct. So yeah.
So get out of there so we can get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna get
Go
out
in another
of
closet and get to your Zoom meeting,
Right.
which is not a Zoom. But anyway, so what kind of stuff?
I definitely said it is.
We got stuff to do. What kind of stuff do you get from the kids? Like I said, they are funny, especially little kids are so funny.
They are hilarious. Like I get personal stories about what's going on in people's houses that I don't want to know about.
I know that's right.
The bad thing about, kids telling you all everybody else's business is, well, one, they telling you everybody else's business. But I told you, I'm from here. So I know these people.
So you know the people. You know mamas and daddies.
Right. And so I just man, come on, man. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
Because you got to call DSS.
Right. You shouldn't have said that. Now say it one more time, but don't say it how you said it. Because I'm getting material. But yes, it's so much. The kids, one, they're just funny just because they're kids, the things that they say, their reactions to things, just, experiencing life through their eyes. It's great. It's great. Yeah.
We're talking to Kennedy Fedian on a Fun Day Monday. We're going to come right back and find out what Kennedy thinks about politics and the upcoming election. And one of my favorite things about Kennedy, he has this it's not new anymore, but he has this fraternity or sorority, I don't even, a social group that you may not have heard about, but you need to know about. It's coming up next on Coping with COVID.
Hello, this is Jamie Devine, Chairman of the Richland One School Board. I have enjoyed being able to give back to this community that has given so much to me, and I will be honored to earn your vote to return to the board and to continue to fight for this community that has such a rich history and legacy. Please remember to cast your vote for Jamie Devine in the election for Richland One School Board, Seat 2, this November 3rd, or in advance by absentee ballot. Thank you.
Paid for by the committee to elect Jamie Devine for the Richland One School Board.
Palmetto Media Connections wants to connect with you. Find and like us on Facebook and a chance to win dinner for a family of 10 for the Thanksgiving holidays. Provided by licensed caterer Deacon Eddie Green of Catering and Beyond, 201 Columbia Mall Boulevard, 803-567-3986. Connect with us for a chance to win dinner for a family of 10. Sponsored by Palmetto Media Connections, connecting media and communities together.
People will be able to look 100 years from now. They will know how we got over. This makes it even more important that we shine this light.
Part of it also wasn't the fact that we couldn't have the physical graduation, but I also couldn't celebrate with my family out of town.
For me, I feel like this is a new normal. This is not going away anytime soon, I don't think.
Anything that's happened before can happen again. And the same thing is at play with this virus.
We are no longer in a building, and we've talked about church being, with us, in us.
Have you traveled abroad late in the past 6 months? We were trying to trace it back as early as November.
You're watching Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. It's brought to you by SCG Heck, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Palmetto Media Connections, and Agape Counseling and Training Center. Listen, if you're having some challenges coping with COVID, please contact the folks at Agape Counseling and Training Center. It's Fun Day Monday on Coping with COVID, and typically on the first Monday of the month, George Wallace joins us to be introduced to some new and up-and-coming comedians. George had a doctor's appointment today. He's going to be with us tomorrow on our election show. But the comedian that we were focusing on today is still here. And we're going to hook him up with, he's doing a little quick change, a little costume change.
Yeah, my waves
and we're
weren't
gonna hook
waving like I wanted.
And we're going to hook him up with George at a later date. But Kennedy, the comedian, is with us. And he's really you really are, one of my favorite comedians, Kennedy, because you are, obviously, you're funny and you're just very, you just have just such a free style about you. And I love it. I want to say hi to Ronnie Taylor. Thank you, Ronnie, so much for watching Coping with COVID. Please continue to post and share this information out so we can get this message to the masses, because Kennedy is a great comedian that we want to support his endeavors, and he's a school teacher in Ridgeway. So you are, working with our children, helping to energize them and educate them about the fine ways of dodgeball. So he's a PE teacher. He's a gym teacher.
I am an instructor of the arts of physical.
Right, he's
education.
a professor of basketball. so Kennedy, are you into politics?
Oh, to be American is to be into politics.
Yeah, you should be. You should be.
Yeah.
So before, in the primary, when there were a bunch of people, vying for the nomination, who'd you like? Yang, Bernie, Pete, Steyer, Booker? Who did you like?
Man, let's go Yang Gang.
Yang Gang. You were part of the Yang Gang.
Yeah, well, unofficially.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't know
it. He didn't know it. I knew some of his campaign people, but yeah, I was like, yeah, Yang Gang.
Okay. What did you like about?
I felt like Andrew Yang was the most forward-thinking candidate.
Right.
I think America's we struggle. I mean, you can kind of see it with the last 4 years. We've been really trying to hold on and preserve certain things that we probably, for the betterment of humanity, we probably should let go and move toward the future. Yeah. And I felt like Andrew Yang was the most forward-thinking of all the candidates from any party.
Yeah. Now, what are your thoughts about, and you said a little bit about what we've been going through the last 4 years. What do you think about the current administration?
I mean, guys, I think this current administration is showing the worst of us.
Wow.
It brings out the worst of us. Appearance-wise, I say that. And I think a lot of division. This administration, I don't believe, they were the ones who sowed the division, but I do think like they're allowing the division to really have a voice, to have a platform, a bigger platform, without being checked properly. And so you see these things coming about. I mean, you even see like family and friends like being torn apart, because of like who you vote for and what side you're on. And so that's not that I see a lot of that from this administration. I'm sure there are some good things. The president keeps talking about them. I don't know what they are.
Right.
I'm still waiting.
Yeah, like, hey, so
Right,
Maybe
but
it'll happen tomorrow.
you got about 10 hours.
All this stuff you've been talking about for the last 4 years, you got 12 hours to make it happen, bro.
Right.
Kennedy, how have you what do you think America is ready for a woman of color to be vice president?
Is America ready? I think about 51% of the country is ready. I think so. And I mean, we'll see. I think we proved that last election with Hillary, like from the popular vote, she won that, and so I think that's an indicator of at least more than half of the country is at least ready to move in the direction of having a female or a woman as a leader
Right.
of the highest office. Because I think a lot of things that scares some conservatives is that if the Democrats win, that means Joe wins. Joe will be the oldest president, if I'm not mistaken. And then they go, oh God, if he goes, then she's next. Oh man, I think that scares some people.
Right.
I'm not
right,
exactly
right.
sure why it scares them, because I think in terms of politics and I think Kamala's capable of getting the work done, and not just her alone. I think she could do it, and I think she'll be an excellent vice president. All you gotta do is smile, and she's been killing that one. The smiling, yeah.
Andre Barnes says they blocked the woman last year, meaning Hillary, and it's actually the biggest fear is a woman of color leading the nation. He said he believes that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Andre, for watching and for your comment.
Yeah, I mean, Hillary.
Not much
Hillary
to joke
won.
about there, is it? No jokes about that, huh, Kennedy?
Yeah. I know. Hillary
it's okay.
won,
I don't want to take it.
Yeah. No. I don't mind. No. I can speak freely as long as you allow me to speak freely. I say
go right ahead, do your thing, sir.
Yeah, Hillary won.
You sitting up there in the closet, so you're fine.
That's right. I'm good. I'm in my closet. But anyway, Hillary won. I think whether most people know or not, with the electoral college.
The electoral college.
That throws,
which a lot of people don't get.
Yeah, that's the thing that messes that swings elections. And so it does. Yeah, you kind of know how certain states are going to vote. Like I know South Carolina's going to be ruby red tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And so that's
as much interest, and that's interesting. I was on a call yesterday about South Carolina, and even with the big Jamie Harrison election, which potentially could turn the state blue, the thought was that, are people going to split their votes? Are they going to vote for Trump and then vote for Jamie? Are they going to do straight party ticket? That's the thing about it. So it's going to be interesting to see what is going to happen in South Carolina. We're one of those states that people are really watching to see, what's going to happen again, especially because of this big race with Jamie Harrison. So have you voted already?
No, I haven't voted yet. Because like I said, I actually vote here at my school.
Okay.
So I always do this thing every year where I march to the polls. And so
you march from the gym to the auditorium?
No, I march. I stay like a mile and a half from here. So
okay.
Yeah, so I can walk to work. I stay that
cool.
close, and somehow I still end up late. Yeah, I haven't figured that one out yet. Right. But so what I do is I march, and I kind of document the march. I always do it as my ode to our ancestors.
Yeah, that's cool.
The ones that
Kennedy.
the ones that did march, the ones that voted, the ones that wanted to vote and couldn't vote and had to walk to the polls only to be denied and say, hey, no, you gotta go across town, and then you get across town and can't vote over here. And so I do it for them. And honestly, they're the reason that I vote. I feel like I'm voting for people who couldn't vote, or who couldn't died, vote, or who struggled to vote.
That's such a great. That's so great. Because you hear a lot of people say, and I said this today, and I was recording the lines, because at 2020 Hampton Street, which is the main voting place here in Columbia, people have been early voting and there've been long lines. And then there's another place right around the corner, which is my typical polling place. And it's so interesting because at one point, a lot of people didn't know about that, so they didn't go there. And then the more people that went and said, man, I got in and out over here, now the line over there is longer than the line at 2020 Hampton Street. So anyway, and I said on my live, people suffered, bled, and died for their right to vote. And, it's your responsibility to honor them and do it. I didn't say that. What I said was people suffer, bled, and died, and you should too. So I wasn't trying to say people should die, but
I'm not dying for the vote, and especially in South Carolina.
But the thing about it is, Kennedy, some people did. So our ancestors did. They did die to vote, for the right to vote. So yeah, we are voting for those people who didn't get a chance to vote. And it is our responsibility, I think, to do it because they couldn't. And because they literally died so that we could do it. So,
so definitely. So that's why that is the only reason.
I love it. So you're going to march to march to school tomorrow to the polls.
Well, I put it's the polls tomorrow. But, and Trey, I put the suit on, the tie. I shoot the video in black and white. I just
You sing "We Shall Overcome" while you walking.
Oh yeah, I sing in spirituals. What else? I stop and talk to people who are coming back and forth from voting, and
I love it.
So I got chased by a dog last time. It was like, listen,
our ancestors got chased by dogs too.
Listen, I heard a crow. I know he said the N-word. I heard a crow. I know he did. You gotta watch the video. It's on YouTube. I don't know the name of the title.
I want to watch the video. I want you to send it to me so we can play it tomorrow. Well, you would have already voted. What time do you do this?
So I'm gonna do this.
Would you have voted by the time the show airs at 2:00?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will have voted.
So send it to me. Yeah, so I can open the show with it.
Yeah. So what I might do is I'll get up, vote early tomorrow, and so I'm gonna have my phone and I'll record it. And
record it and send it to me because I want to air it tomorrow during the show. Kennedy, Kennedy the comedian, has been joining us this hour on coping with COVID. So Kennedy, if people want more information about you, how can they get that? And where are you going to be next? I know COVID, I'm sure, has affected your performances. You're just performing at Ridgeville Elementary School now in the closet.
Ridgeway.
Get it right. Get it right.
That's right. I got to put on for my town. Ridgeway.
I thought you lived in Columbia. I didn't know you lived in Ridgeway.
No, I didn't. I've always said Ridgeway. Even when I went to college and they would announce the basketball, and now and they don't say Columbia, I make sure that they say Ridgeway, South Carolina.
That's right. Represent.
But then I found out, this is a census year. I didn't know Columbia included us in their metropolitan area.
Yeah. Ridgeway's Columbia Metropolitan. I think
that's cheating. I didn't know that because we don't get no benefits from being a part of Columbia. So.
Yeah. Oh well, take it up with the census.
I'm gonna take it up with Steve Benjamin. No, take it
up with the census.
Okay, all right.
Steve doesn't make the census. He's the mayor, but he's
okay. I was just making sure
of Columbia.
Okay.
He's not the mayor of the census.
I like to go to the person that's in charge, and so I didn't know.
Well, if you don't know, now you know.
Now I know.
Steve is the mayor of Columbia, not the mayor of the census.
Okay, all right. Well, so we cleared. And Steve, you good, brother? Because I was about to come downtown.
Come on.
Where can they find me? Google. You can Google me. Facebook.
Kennedy the comedian.
Kennedy Alexander Robertson. You got to say the whole thing.
Kennedy Alexander Robinson on Facebook. That's how you are on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook like that. So that's my Facebook page. My Facebook page Kennedy Alexander Robertson. On Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, you can find me at Funny Money Ken. Funny
Money Ken.
Yes.
Okay, funny.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Funny Money Ken.
Funny Money.
FUNNY Money Ken.
And on IG.
On IG, Twitter, and Snapchat.
And then on Facebook, you
Kennedy
are
Alexander Robertson.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Funny Money Ken on IG, Twitter, and Snapchat. And
it's all one though. It's all one.
Oh well. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me try it again then. Funny Money Ken. Funny Money Ken.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Did it come back up? All right. And then there you go.
Boom.
On IG, Twitter, and Snapchat. And then Kennedy Alexander. That's one word too, right? Or no? Alexander Robinson. Robertson.
Yeah. The Robinsons. That's Jackie's people. Yeah, we're different set.
On Facebook. All right.
That's
so
right.
Kennedy, tell us about your fraternity. You have a fraternity.
My God. Trey, you gotta stop telling people. People gonna be looking for leather jackets and tents.
And I've told you how many times I've told you you should. I told you that. So tell us about it.
All right, so y'all, this fraternity that Trey is talking about is so I created a fraternity for single people. All right. And the name of the fraternity is Single Alpha Uno.
Right. Single Alpha Uno, right?
All right. Some of y'all will catch it later, but that's the name of that's the name of the fraternity. We are actually we are taking applications right now for Single Alpha Uno because we know that Valentine's Day is coming up and we want to show up in strong numbers as couples as they go out on their dates and things of that nature. And we're gonna go up to the houses and throw toilet paper at the houses and trees. All right. We're not anti-love, but we are pro singleness. You know, we want all our people to come together and have a good time. And like I said, we're accepting members, single people, definitely newly divorced, thinking about getting divorced. We could definitely use your help. You can be on our board of directors because you guys have the experience. You've been on the other side, but now you're back. So but yeah, that's the name of the fraternity, Single Alpha Uno.
Single Alpha Uno. And you should definitely have some bracelets or something. Come on,
bracelets.
man. You got bracelets?
No, we got bracelets.
I thought you did.
We have bracelets. We have bracelets.
Do you have the only one? Is it only is it a Single Alpha Uno bracelet? Is it just one bracelet?
It's many bracelets. And like I said,
many bracelets.
We all of our members, you know, are able to buy a bracelet for $1 as a part of their dues,
their membership, membership dues.
Yeah, and like I said, even married people have purchased or own these bracelets because you know they know single people, and some of them are even considering being single. Their spouse just doesn't know it yet, and so they buy a bracelet as a part of the severance package.
Wow, the severance package is right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So yeah, Single Alpha Uno.
Single Alpha Uno. Anything else, Kennedy? Thank you, first of all, so much for joining us today. Like I said, we're going to get you back on. We're going to schedule you back on with George because he was really excited about meeting you. And then he had this doctor's appointment. And so we want to get you back on. But what else do you want us to know about you as we close out today's show?
Well, you guys know now that I am a public school teacher. So you should also know that I am broke. And so since I am broke,
because you are a public school teacher.
Because I am a public school teacher,
and you guys are back at school. Are you back at school teaching PE?
Yeah, it's weird. I teach PE in a classroom. It's so weird in all the classrooms. Like, and then somehow we gotta maintain 6 feet of separation, and also I gotta teach the kids virtually at the same time. But that's another.
Really?
It's a struggle, but we make it happen. We do because teachers are awesome. And
Yeah.
they make the most out of a little bit, kind of like a lot of us, we grew up
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
the most out of a little. Like I said, because I'm a public school teacher, I have decided to take my talents uh elsewhere, not elsewhere, but in addition to teaching and
Right.
doing comedy, I'm also a financial advisor. So a
Oh,
lot of people a
cool.
lot of people don't know that about me. That's how I keep this thing afloat. Okay.
Wow. No, I didn't
So
know that. I
yeah,
had no idea.
yeah. I just teach my clients basic money concepts, and we try to put a real game plan together for them to get them from where they are to where they want to be financially. And so I do that. I give all the advice I give is free, even though I'm licensed and certified to actually get paid for my advice. I give it away for free because most there's an underserved market. Most our people can't afford no real financial advice. So I'm not going to charge you hundreds of thousands of dollars to talk to you about what you should do with your
Right.
money.
Because you don't have the
So
money to do it
right,
in the
right,
first
right. So
place.
exactly. So we're gonna cut that out, and we're gonna use the money that you do have to get you to where you need to be or where you want to
That's
be
good.
financially. So
So
that's what we
people
do.
people can contact you at Kennedy. I guess that's the Kennedy
Yeah,
Alexander Robertson
that's
part.
right. That's right. Because I'm not just
Because
one thing.
right, you
You know.
Kennedy Alexander Robertson, the financial planner on Facebook, but you're Funny Money Ken if
You
you
see
want
where
to
the
talk to.
money. You see where the money comes in. At this
I
funny money.
see.
I'm working on. I'm probably going to change that soon, but that's where we are, trying to figure out how do I marry comedy and finances.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to, or
Funny Money
entertainment.
just doesn't sound because Funny Money sounds
Yeah,
like it's fake money.
funny money. And I was like, nah, that's too childish, too adolescent. Hey, what do you think? What do you guys think on Facebook? What do you think about this? For an Instagram name, My Funny Financial Advisor. What do you think about something in that ballpark?
I don't know. My Funny Financial Advisor. Ronnie says they need to pay teachers what they're worth, and they're worth a lot. Absolutely, Ronnie. I mean, I think we
Yeah,
all know, yeah, teachers, and it's so unfortunate that teachers are just some of the, least paid people, and they
yeah.
get so much. But yeah, so we'll see.
Teachers can't increase their value. That's the only problem with paying teachers. With you, because they don't sell what I'm teaching. I don't sell workout programs to my students, so
Right,
therefore I can't increase my monetary value.
right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So Kennedy Comedian Funny Money Ken on IG, Twitter, and Snapchat, and on Facebook, Kennedy Alexander Robertson. Check him out on Facebook. He is such a great guy, a great comedian, and a financial advisor if you need some financial help. Kennedy, thank you so much for joining us today on Coping with COVID. I appreciate you so much. And like I said, I can't wait to talk to you about coming back so George can check out all of your awesomeness. Be just as
Yeah.
funny as you were there today.
I will. I might even be funnier just because
Be
it's
even
George.
funnier.
Yeah. Trey, I definitely appreciate you just for being you and doing the things that you are doing in our
Thank you.
community. And also thank you for allowing me to share this space with you today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Kennedy the comedian, y'all. Don't forget to check him out. I appreciate you, man. And don't forget to send me that video for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, gotcha. I'm gonna
Okay?
send it to you.
All
Yes.
right, great. Kennedy Comedian. Check him out on Kennedy Alexander Robinson on Facebook and Funny Money Ken on Twitter, IG, and Snapchat. Listen, if you have a story or a product, if you have a story that could help someone cope with COVID, please go to my inbox and on Facebook and let me know. And we would love to get you on Coping with COVID. If you have a product or service that could help someone cope with COVID, please email copingwith@tretailor@gmail.com. We will be glad to talk to you about spotlighting you as a sponsor, just like SCDHEC, In It Together, the City of Columbia, Office of Business Opportunities, Palmetto Media Connections, and Agape Counseling and Training Center. Tomorrow, our big election show includes Mr. Jim Felder from South Carolina Voter Education Project. As I said, George Wallace will be with us. Reverend Charles Jackson Jr. will talk about faith and politics. And we've got some more surprises for you tomorrow, Election Day, on Coping with COVID. As always, I leave you with a reading from Jesus Calling. It's November 2nd, and Jesus says, "Grow strong in the light of my presence. Your weakness does not repel me. On the contrary, it attracts my power, which is always available to flow into your yielded heart. Do not condemn yourself for your constant need of help. Instead, come to me with your gaping neediness. Let the light of my love fill you. A yielded heart does not whine or rebel when the going gets tough. It musters the courage to thank me, even during hard times. Yielding yourself to my will is ultimately an act of trust, and quietness and trust is your strength." That's your Jesus Calling for today, Monday, November 2nd. Thank you guys so much for joining us once again on Coping with COVID. I'm Tre Tailor. Until the next time, I wish you peace and abundant blessings, and I encourage you to please be careful, be safe out there, and wear your mask over your nose and under your chin. See you later.
Coping with COVID is brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Visit scdheck.gov for an updated list of testing sites and important information on how to protect yourself, your family, and friends from the coronavirus. SCDHEC, healthy people, healthy communities. Also, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, helping to meet the needs of small, minority, and women-owned businesses in the City of Columbia. Log on to columbiasc.net/OBO. Agape Counseling and Training Center. Call 803-779-2777 for licensed professionals of counselors and social workers helping families, engaged and married couples, and individuals of all ages gain an understanding of all aspects of their life. If you're having a challenge coping with COVID, contact Agape Counseling and Training Center at agapects.com. And Columbia Housing Authority. The agency is looking for stories from former residents of Allen Benedict Court to retain some of the property's rich history. In its 80-year life, Allen Benedict Court has been home to some of the country's elite, including a Grammy Award-winning performer, corporate executives, national television celebrities, a host of doctors, lawyers, and NBA greats. So share your pictures, mementos, and memories at chcares@chasc.org. Coping with COVID, brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Columbia Housing Authority, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Palmetto Media Connection.
Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.